I'd like to welcome you to the second part of our lecture. In this part of the lecture, I want to show how to create the reference list entries and format a reference list. A reference list should appear at the end of your paper. It provides the information necessary for a reader to locate and retrieve any source you cite in your paper. Each source you cite in the paper must appear in your reference list. Likewise, each entry in the reference list must be cited in your text. A reference list should begin on a new page separate from the text of the paper. You should label this page References. The word References should be set in bold and put at the top center of the page. You should set 1-inch page margins on all sides. The reference page should include a running head with page number and the title of the document. A running head is also called a page header. It's a line at the top of each page of a document that gives the reader important information. For APA format, the running head includes the page number and a shortened version of the title of the document. We use capital letters to write the title of the document. In other words, the title of the paper is capitalized. All the text should be double-spaced just like the rest of your paper. All lines after the first line of each entry of your reference list should be indented 1/2 inch from the left margin. This is called hanging indentation. You can use the paragraph formatting function of your word processing program to apply the hanging indent. This reference page follows the general APA formatting guidelines. It is double-spaced and formatted using a hanging indent. The running head on the title page includes the page number and the paper title. You can set up AP format more easily if you download Scriber's AP format Word template. This will make sure that 1-inch page margins are set, AP heading styles are imported, a running head and page numbers are included in the header. The font size and line spacing is correct. In addition, you'll have an easy-to-follow structure with examples and useful links to more information. When the source element of a reference is an academic journal, you should provide the names of the authors, the title of the article, the title of the journal, volume number, issue number, and page range. First, we give the last name and initials for all authors of a particular work. All authors' names are inverted, that is, last names are provided first. We use commas to separate authors and an ampersand before the name of the last author. Now, I'd like to outline how the other elements of a reference to an academic journal are formatted. As we said earlier, first we provide the authors' names. Then we give the years the work was published and present its title. The article title is not italicized. In contrast, when referring to the title of a journal, we italicize it. We place a comma after it. This comma is not italicized. Then a volume number is followed. We present the issue number of the journal in parentheses if the article cited is paginated by issue. We place the issue number immediately after the volume number with no space in between and include the issue number in parentheses. Page numbers complete the basic elements of a journal reference. Note that no double P is needed when we give the page numbers for a journal article. We separate page numbers by n dash followed by a period. We finish the reference list entry with TOI or URL. Another point I'd like to make concerns the final component of the reference list entry, a TOI or URL. A TOI or Digital Object Identifier is a unique alphanumeric string assigned to an online document. A TOI can be used in a similar way to a URL. The purpose of the DOI is to provide a permanent Internet address for articles available in electronic format. Let's consider an example of a journal reference. Let's say you need to cite an article titled Language Learning as Language Use, a cross-linguistic model of child language development. When formatting a reference, you will begin the title and the subtitle of the article with a capital letter. You will italicize the title of the journal and its volume number. You will not italicize the issue number, the parentheses, or the comma after the issue number. You will use a comma to separate the first author's initials from the second author's name, and you will use an ampersand before the second author's name. How can you find the DOI for sources you cite? The DOI typically appears on the first page of a journal article, usually at the top in the electronic version of the article. If you cannot find the DOI for a journal article, you can also check a Crossref website. What should you do here is just to type in the title of the article and search. If the article has a DOI number, it will come up here. If the DOI does not exist here, the article most likely does not have a DOI. In this case, use the URL instead. When formatting DOIs and URLs in reference, we should follow the current recommendations of the 7th edition of the APA Publication Manual, such as include a DOI for all works that have a DOI, regardless of whether you used online version or the print version. If a print work does not have a DOI, do not include any DOI or URL in the reference. If an online work has both a DOI and URL, include only the DOI. If an online work has a URL but no DOI, include the URL in the reference. Now, let's answer the question, what format of DOI reference is currently recommended to use? According to the current recommendations of the 7th edition of the APA Manual, we should use the following DOI format: http://doi.org. It means that we should present both DOIs and URLs as hyperlinks. That is, the links that begin with http://. Because a hyperlink leads readers directly to the content, now it's not necessary to include the words retrieved from before DOI or URL. Note that the preferred format of the DOI has changed over time. Older works use previous formats that you can see here. In your reference list, you should standardize DOIs into the current preferred format for all entries. Use the current format of DOI even in your reference to older works that could present the DOI in an older format. Let's talk about the rules for citing books. References for books share many of the features of references for journal articles. Again, the names of the authors are starting point. They are followed by the date of publication. Again, the title is not capitalized. Only the first word of the title and subtitle receive capitals. In contrast to the title of a journal article, a book title is italicized. A book reference currently includes only the publisher's name. The publisher location is no longer included in the reference. Some books also have a DOI address. It is given at the end of the reference. Here, you can see an example of a book reference. The publisher, in this example American Psychological Association, is placed right after the book title without including the city and state in which the publisher is located. For book references, after the title of the book, you can place any additional information necessary for its identification, for example, edition and volume number. Both edition and volume information should be enclosed in parentheses. You should not have a period between the title and the parenthetical information, and you should not italicize the parenthetical information. If both edition and volume information are included, separate these elements with a comma. You can see here an example of a book reference that includes edition and volume information. In contrast to the previous format, the current one doesn't include the name of the city and state in which the publisher is located. APA Publication Manual contains rules for creating references not only for textual verbs, but also for such categories as datasets, software, text, audiovisual media, and online media. To create a reference list entry, first you should determine the appropriate reference group and then adopt the format shown as the relevant template. If you don't want to create reference manually, you can use Scribner's free AP citation generator to do that more easily. If you use Scribner's free IP citation generator, what you need to do is to enter the DOI of the article in the search box. Then find the reference list entry in the result list and paste it in your reference list. That completes the lecture. This is the last lecture of our course. Thank you for your attention.